Hello students, myself NK Tukral from Edupedia world. I will be taking up business studies. Now before coming to the business, let's have the background. What is a business concept? I would like to tell you that human beings are continuously engaged in some activity or other in order to satisfy their unlimited wants. Every day we come across the word business or businessman. You must be hearing the word business or businessman either directly or indirectly. Business has become an essential part of modern world. The term business means busyness or a state of being busy. Now let's define what business is. As you can see in the slide, economic activities connected with production, purchase, sale of goods or supply of services with the object of earning of profits. Earning of profits, economic activities and purchase, sale of goods or supply of services are the major ingredients of business. Now coming to concept of business, I may tell you the important factors in business is number 1, human activity, number 2, economic element, number 3, nature of work, number 4, capital investment, and last is risk. Let us take up one by one. Number 1, human activity. Every business transaction has minimum 2 parties, that is buyer and a seller. Business is nothing but a contract or an agreement between buyer and seller. So human touch is a must in business, and human activities are involved in all business transactions. Second factor is economic element. While every business has an object of earning profit, there can be no business without having the nature of earning revenue. Every person involved in a business wants that business must produce profits, because nobody is going to work business or do business for a charity. So economic element is one of the basic factor of business. Business cannot be because of love, affection or any other psychological reason. Next is nature of work. What nature of work is? Purchase, sale of goods. Always in a business, on one side it is a sale and other side it is a purchase. So these are the 2 important factors in business. Next is capital investment. Business needs initial investment to start with. Suppose you want to do small business, you must have initial money either from your own resources or you are taking from the bank. So these investments are required for setting up office or for expansion or for growth. Last feature of business is risk. Always there is a element of risk in all type of businesses. Briefly, I can tell you that risk is the uncertainty associated with an exposure to loss. It is related with certain factors like changes in consumer taste or fashions, change in methods of production, or there can be a strike also, there can be a fire also, there can be theft also. All these elements are covered under the risk. Now coming to the characteristics of business, let us understand one by one. As you can see in the slide, number 1 is an economic activity. The main feature or characteristics of business is an economic activity. As you can understand, business is an economic activity as it is undertaken with the aim of earning money or livelihood and not because of love, affection or any other psychological reason. It provides a source of income to the society also. It brings about industrial and economic development of the country also. So economic activity is one of the characteristics of business. Next is sale or exchange of goods. You can say buying and selling. The basic activity of any business is trading. The business involves buying of raw materials, plants and machinery, stationery, property, etc. On the other hand, it sells a finished product to the consumers. So buying is also there one side and selling is also there on the other side. So these are the 2 elements of business. Next is production or procurement of goods, or you can say services also. Business exists to satisfy wants of the consumers. So every business either itself produces the goods or services or procures them from others in order to sell them to consumer or users. Goods may consist of consumer goods like sugar, pen, etc., or capital goods like any heavy equipment, machinery or furniture, etc. And services which may include facilities in the form of transportation, banking, electricity, etc., etc. Next characteristics is regular basis. you can say dealing in goods and services on a regular basis. Mind it that every business involves exchange of goods and services on a regular and recurring basis. A single transaction of sale or purchase does not constitute business. For example, if a person sells his mobile at a profit, it does not constitute business. However, if he keeps a stock of mobile sets and regularly sells them, then it would constitute a business. One time buying or selling cannot be treated as a business. So business, you can say, is done on a regular basis. Next is uncertainty of return. The person who is doing business, he must take into account that always return cannot be available. There is an uncertainty also. Every business aims to earn profits. However, there exists uncertainty of return that the businessman may earn on his investment. It is not certain as to what amount of profit will be earned. There is always a possibility of losses also, in spite of best efforts he has put into. So, uncertainty of return will always be there in all type of businesses. Next characteristic is element of risk. Risk is the uncertainty associated with an exposure to loss. It is related with certain factors like changes in consumer taste, fashions, change in methods of production, or workers may go on strike, or increased competition, or there may be fire or theft, etc. These are all the factors of risk. Every business in the world involves some degree of risk. Mind it, no business can altogether do away with risk. Last is profit earning. The main aim of every business is to earn profit. One needs to consider, if you want to do business, your main objective is to earn profit also. You are not going to do business with charity. No business can survive for long without earning profit. For example, business selling goods at less than cost or free of cost, I mean to say as charity, cannot continue for long. Due to this reason, businessmen make all possible efforts to maximize profits. Coming to the objectives of business, we can classify the objectives under three categories. Number one is economic objectives, number two is social objectives, and third is human or individual objectives. Now let us come one by one. Number one is economic objectives. Under economic objectives, number one is earning of profits. Every businessman undertakes business activities primarily to earn profits. No business can survive for long without earning sufficient profits. Profit provides a means of livelihood for the businessman and a reward for bearing the risk. So profit earning is very important in business. Second objective is survival. You see, every business aims to ensure that it continues to survive and exist in the future also. Survival is possible only when organization is able to earn enough revenue to cover its cost. Next is growth. A business needs to add to its prospects in the long run. For this, business must grow and expand to survive in the long run. Growth is measured in terms of sales volume, increase in number of employees, market share, number of products, etc., etc. So growth is also very important to carry on the business. Next objective is innovation. What is innovation? Innovation refers to introduction of new ideas, new methods of production. Innovation plays a crucial role in increasing the competitive strength and improving the image of business enterprise in the minds of customers. In the present world, innovation is very much important to prolong the business. Otherwise, you are finished. Next is creating of customers. You see, you keep customers to create customers and maintain them also. So creation of customers or demand is essential in order to earn profits. Customers are the focus of all business activities. A business enterprise can exist and grow only when it is able to capture a big market share. That is, there are enough people to buy the products and services offered by an enterprise. Next is optimum utilization of resources. Resources available with the business are generally limited. So every business enterprise aims to make best possible use of physical, financial and human resources. The objective can be achieved through employing efficient and competitive workforce, making full use of installed machinery, and minimizing wastage of materials. If a business has too much wastage, it cannot survive for long. Similarly, if workforce is not efficient or not competent, you cannot survive in the industry. Second category is social objectives. Number one is quality products and at fair prices. The business should ensure that there is regular supply of useful products with fair quality and at reasonable prices. Two important part is, number one is useful products with fair quality, and second is also at reasonable prices. If prices are higher, you cannot carry on further. So supply of adulterated goods or inferior quality goods, unusable or harmful products are detrimental to the survival of business. Sooner or later, you are going to finish your business if you are giving to the customer harmful products. Next is fair trade practices. Business enterprise should not indulge in antisocial or unfair trade practices like black marketing, hoarding, adulteration, etc. Such practices are not only illegal but also hamper the image of business community. So every business organization should have the object to avoid such undesirable activities. Next objective is generation of employment. Every business enterprise should create sufficient employment opportunities without any discrimination to caste, religion, sex, etc. As boys, you must be knowing that unemployment is a very serious problem in our country. So business community helps to create employment opportunities. Next is protection of environment. Business enterprise should take all reasonable steps to check and protect environment. And nowadays, the regulatory authority is very much existent to see and to ensure that there is no business which are producing smoke, waste, etc. So it must make proper arrangement for disposal of effluents, smoke, waste, etc. in order to avoid various types of pollution. Next is community service. Nowadays, many businesses engage in various community services like setting up schools, charitable dispensaries, donating money for social and religious activities. And somewhere the government has made it mandatory also for certain type of companies to have the community services. And next is welfare of employees. No business can succeed without the contribution of its employees. Thus, business should aim to provide fair wages and reasonable working and living conditions to all the workers. Coming to the third category, individual objectives, or you can say human objectives. Human or individual objectives refers to the objectives related to the individual needs of the employees of an organization. Every organization has its own objectives. Sometimes you cannot compare with other organizations. Each business has its own individual objectives. As employees are one of the most valuable resources of an organization, satisfaction of their objective is very important. So one by one, I can say, number one, individual objective can be healthy and safe working conditions. It's applicable to mostly all type of businesses. Second is fair and competitive salaries. That is also very important. Certain perks also are part of the salaries. Next is security of job. It is another important factor on behalf of employees. They always want security of job. Next is financial and non-financial incentives. That depends upon the business to business and employees to employees. Next objective is to develop positive attitude among employees. A businessman should see and should ensure that always employees are working with a positive attitude. Otherwise, they will not be able to produce and grow the business as the business desires. All human beings are engaged in some activity or the other in order to satisfy their basic needs. Let's take an example. Farmers are busy in their field, workers are working in factories, CAs or doctors are busy in their profession. So depending on wants or needs, all human activities can broadly be divided into two categories. Number one is economic activities, number two is non-economic activities. Now let us relate with the business. What are economic activities? Economic activities refers to those activities which are undertaken to earn a living. For example, worker working in a factory, shopkeeper selling goods in his shop, doctor attending to patient in his clinic, etc. etc. These are all coming under economic activities. Economic activities are concerned with all those activities which are concerned with the production, exchange and consumption of goods and services which are not available for free. Again, I will repeat it that these activities are not available for free. And non-economic activities refers to those activities which are undertaken to satisfy social, psychological and emotional needs. Let's take an example. In your own house, your mother is cooking food for your family. A teacher teaching his own son or attending a social gathering, etc. etc. All are considered under non-economic activities. Now let us relate with the business. There are 5 points. I will cover it. Basis. Number one is objectives. Under economic activities, the prime objective is to earn money. And under non-economic activities, the main objective is to get some sort of satisfaction. Second is expectation. The expectation for performing economic activity is to earn income or profit. This is under economic activities. Whereas under non-economic activities, the expectation for performing non-economic activities is to get mental satisfaction. That's all. Next is money measurement. Activities are measured in money or money's worth. Whereas under non-economic activities, they are not measured in money. It is a mental satisfaction only. That's all. Next is duration. Under economic activities, they are performed regularly and for the major period of one's life. In the old age, one may stop working. Whereas under non-economic activities, they are performed during leisure or spare time, which is very limited. And lastly, end result. The end result of economic activities is production of goods and services, and the end result of non-economic activities is mental satisfaction of persons performing them. Thank you.